Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls across the Omega Gaming Esports channel. Tonight we've got a very exciting game for you guys. It is the return of Omega Gaming Unleashed here in LHGUL, their very first game coming back this weekend. I'm very excited. My name's Rudude1. I'm joined on the desk tonight by Ivar and Funk. How are you guys doing?
It's popping.
So
I'm gonna keep it a buck, Josh. I'm not calling you fuck.
yeah, no, I feel you, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So everybody tuning in, we are testing a new iteration of Pro Draft for the league here. That's why it looks a little different. Omega's on the right. Team Quintessence
Yep.
is on the left, blue side, and the bands are on the top right and top left. You want to touch on these bands a bit?
So Team Quintessence, they've gone Graves, Mordekaiser, Ash bands, and then Omega Gaming Unleashed have gone for Caitlyn, Evelyn, and Silas. Mordekaiser always gets a band away from the Madman, Shane up in the top lane. Graves similarly usually gets banned away from Samalkram. And Ash just sort of that flexible ban, probably one of the top tier AD carries to get rid of.
Interesting Hecarim first pick. We don't really see Hecarim first pick too often, unless that's something that's new. But nonetheless, like you said, the Handshake, Kate Ash bands. Ezreal first pick coming out, I'm assuming for adjustment here in the bot lane for Unleashed.
Yeah, it looks that way. I think you can get away with a Hecarim first pick actually, because he's actually super strong right now. To be honest, like I really don't mind it at all that they take it so early. Such a strong
Also,
jungler that
i-
it's just worth.
is it flexible now? Is it top lane? Is it playable in the top lane?
Hecarim's always flexible top lane. I think it just depends on the matchup. Like I've seen it a few times. I think I saw it yesterday. Played against a Shen. Majority of Hecarim's damage comes from the Qs instead of his auto attack. So Spirit's Refuge doesn't really do anything. But I think that you can definitely flex it. That's for sure.
I'm assuming Samir is like unavailable, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
2 weeks disabled, presumably across all
Okay.
leagues, but definitely in this one.
that makes sense.
And Set picks
Yeah.
up for Unleashed here as well. That's a flex pick if ever I saw one, to be honest. Because Vic Viscero we know he plays Set a lot. Can be taken into the top lane, can also replay jungle, so lots of potential with this Set pickup already. Wouldn't want to draw too many conclusions from just a Set picked up as to where that one's going. And Senna Ornn picked up pretty staple blind picks really across the board here for Team Quintessence.
Yeah, I know the ADC for Quintessence. I believe his name's Jim. Don't quote me on that. He played Senna all three of their games last week. Senna Maokai bot lane actually. So that's the Maokai band coming out from Omega there.
Yeah, pretty smart. Doing your little bit of research, doing your homework, finding out that you want to get rid of a Maokai. Definitely something that I'm definitely a fan of, given that they've shown precedent that they want to get rid of it or that they play it a lot. So removing it on Omega's side definitely quite smart. I'm interested by the Diana ban here because Diana doesn't strike me as a particularly potent mid laner right now. So maybe they've got some interesting pick lined up for it, something that Diana just really crushes, that they're trying to get rid of in lieu of like a safer blind pick, so to speak, as they are blue side here. Like they're gonna have to take mid blind.
Yeah. Unless I don't know. I just think Diana is like a pick that Princeton is really strong at. I mean, doesn't show it on his OP.GG because he doesn't play too often in solo queue. But maybe they're scared of it. Maybe their mid laner just has some mental block against Diana.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
always a worry.
there's a target bans coming out um, towards Princeton, the Akali Diana. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a top lane pick here. Granted that Set can still be top lane.
Yeah, they're probably gonna. It might be support here as well. There's a lot of options because we really don't know. That set is still very flexible, so they might even blind mid and just
Okay,
see.
that's actually a really big pick.
Yeah,
Big, they could both go either position right now.
Karma the triple flex, set still double flexing, so Omega have got so much flexibility right now. You know, I keep saying the word flex, but hey, they just do. So you it is what it is at the end of the day. This last pick is going to round out everything, and Team Quintessence don't really know too much all that at the moment.
Yeah, and the Bard pick coming out, Senna Bard. I'm pretty sure they're going to opt to put Karma bot lane into that Bard, correct?
Yeah, I think at least in my
Yeah.
experience, Karma does pretty well into Bard.
And
I
Set
would think.
doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say set would be pretty terrible.
And I'm expecting is oh
Expecting the Zillion pick, were we?
no, Doinby. Do we see the Doinby?
I mean, if you we
Uh,
look at Omega's team so far, they're definitely lacking magical damage, right?
yeah,
Rise would fill that niche pretty comfortably.
there's still also like Victor, Vladimir could be picked, Cassiopeia. Zoe also wouldn't be too bad with the Ezreal. But the Rise is locked in.
Yeah, so they take away, or not take away rather, but they lock in, really strong team fighting mage mid laner here. Definitely wants a little bit of time to scale up, right? Rise on one item doesn't do nearly the same as Rise at 3, 4 items. Once he's got that Seraph's Embrace, might be able to hold his own definitely versus the Zillion, as both of them sort of playing. Zillion definitely playing more for the team, playing to this Hecarim a lot. So Rise definitely want to be one of these standouts, performing well in the team fights.
I actually really like the Rise pick because he can just instant rune Prism Hecarim that's running in and just walk away. And it looks like from the side of Team Quintessence, their main damage source is supposed to be the Hecarim. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it looks like Hecarim speed up, or Hecarim being sped up by Zillion is what they want to do, and what they want to run is just backline chaos, which is why I think the
Yeah.
Kindred pick. They've seen Hecarim and just picked the Kindred into it, especially with Ornn as well. Like Quintessence have drafted themselves a very dive heavy composition early on, with the Hecarim and the Ornn, and then also the Senna ultimate layered over the top. That Kindred just fits really well. They're able to pretty much negate most of the dive if they're able to use
Yeah,
Lance Respite pretty well.
I mean set too, because Hecarim just jumps in and set just ults him out.
Yep, that's also a very good point.
Like they kind of just doesn't make sense.
And there's also like the mobility of Ezreal and Mantra W from Karma.
Right.
They could just Mantra. Is it W or is it E?
E's the shield. W's
Okay,
the
the
heal.
What's the move speed? The shield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mantra E from Karma will help like Ezreal and the backline get out of sticky situations when Hecarim's diving into them.
Definitely a lot of potential then on this Unleashed roster. I really like the draft from them here. Definitely impressed with how well a lot of it works out. I think as they get later and later into the game as well, Hecarim tends to fall off just a little bit. Relative to Rise late game damages. Obviously, the Zillion is going to be quite potent and should be able to help the Hecarim as he gets later and later. And obviously, we've got Senna picked up as well, one notorious for her late game scaling potential. I think Omega they've got a nice little mid game spike as well with the Ezreal around the 2 items with be it Iceborne, be it Trinity Force. Whenever he completes that, along with the Manamune, one of the hardest spiking 2-item AD carries that there is. Senna with Manamune and be it Black Cleaver or a lethality item doesn't do quite the same at that point. So, assuming everything is going even, the power discrepancy should be in Unleashed's favor for at least a little bit during the mid game. We'll have to see how they play around it though.
Yeah, at late game, who would you consider the clear favorite?
I don't think you can call there be a clear favorite because I think you're looking to each side and both of them want to do the sort of same thing, right? Like none of them have got a clear split pusher unless you send Rise to a side lane, which is definitely doable. But your Rise is so powerful in a team fight as well that it is going to come down to execution. I think the ease of execution is something that we should probably look at as well, because if all that Omega are wanting to do is team fight and use set to get Hecarim / Ornn out of the situation, That's pretty easy and fight front to back with Kindred, Ezreal, Rise. That's a pretty standard, pretty heavy damage triple threat comp. But then you look over at Team Quintessence, right? They've got super scaling Senna, and if you get to that late game where Senna's got 700 range, then how does your Kindred get to that? Yes, Kindred scales with range as well, but not nearly to that extent. Rise is a battle mage, needs to get quite close relative to other champions to do the damage, and Senna can definitely keep a Rise at arm's length with the use of Bard, Stun, Zillion speed up as well. So it's going to be on execution. I don't think that either team has a clear advantage. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it.
I just think if the Hecarim doesn't get off a bunch of damage at the beginning of the fight, then TQS loses just because of the damage from Ezreal and Rise. They're just going to shred the tanks. So, because there's not much damage after Hecarim unless Senna gets all hers off. So it just depends.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Like you look at TQS, they've got essentially 3 supports, right? Yes, Senna does a load of damage, but she's sort of a support champion kind of early on, right? I think. And Zillion can do a little bit of damage, but that is very situational, and you need the super group up from Unleashed for a Zillion to have full like magic damage effectiveness going on, more of an enabler for his teammates. So Ornn as well in the front line. I mean, as much as we meme that Ornn is an assassin at some stages, when you reach later stages, Rise will have mantra or will have speed ups. Kindred's going to have Mountain Dread or the Q rather just to dash out of danger. Ezreal, Arcane Shift, so engages from that are going to be a lot more difficult to find for TQ. There's a lot of things that are going slightly against them in terms of a late game trying to find these perfect engages.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend a lot on the early game too, just because the Hecarim run around the map. If he can get his lanes ahead, then it's going to be hard for Omega to come back.
Yeah, I think early on...
Because they're going to scale eventually, but it takes them a while to get there.
Hecarim definitely has better early ganks as well.
Yeah.
It has a lot more setup as well, I think. Like, it's easier for a Zillion to set up than a Rise, and I know that might sound a little bit weird, but Zillion doesn't have to, like, he can walk up and press E. Zillion has to walk up, Rise has to walk up and press 2 buttons. Zillion has to walk up and press 1, and what's even worse is that Rise's buttons are channels, so there are times when he just can't EW at a point, especially if Zillion just runs away.
Yeah, there's also the point that, like, if Zillion does miss position or is caught out, he has that, like, I guess, safety net of his ultimate.
Right.
Which Rise doesn't, right? Rise not going to get out with his R if he's caught out.
What do you mean, dude? It's so far. It's so useful.
I'm pretty sure Zillion Bomb is the exact same size as Realm Warp. I'm just going to say that.
Well, there's a lot of potential, though. I really, it is going to be one of those things. I think Josh made it pointing it out really clearly that if Hecarim's able to get off the ground and start snowballing, then I think there's definitely a world where TQ win. I think if Unleashed are able to weather the storm of the early game, I think that also topside, they probably have a better 2v2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because of the set, right?
I don't think bot's going to be easy ganks for the Hecarim, just because it's Ezreal Karma, unless Bard gets a good ult off.
Exactly. So you're looking, if you're playing this Hecarim, you're looking, ideally you want to go mid lane, because top you probably don't win 2v2, or like you can win it, but it's a bit rough. And then mid lane is probably the only place you can get, because bot's so easy to dodge, right? I think set into Ornn just in isolation as well, that should be pretty good for the set, right? Like you've got so many ways of interrupting Ornn ult as set. So he calls R1 and then you just interrupt R2 with either E or ulti. There's loads of ways to outplay it.
Yeah, I don't think much is going to happen in top lane unless the junglers are there. It's just going to be tanks hitting each other.
Do you think we see...
I'm pretty sure...
We're probably going to see like Bork into Black Cleaver.
Yeah, for set.
Yeah, he's probably just going to go split pushing most of this game and then 3-shot Senna at some point mid-game.
Set gets his tankiness from being a bruiser and from not from the shield, sorry, for being a bruiser in the shield. So with Karma Shield stacking on top of that, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Not difficult. It's going to be not necessary for Set to build tank, right? He's just going to go full damage. I think we're going to cut it to a quick break here while we wait out the spectator delay, about a minute or two. We'll get synced up and we'll be back, stream.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the broadcast here, Omega Gaming Esports Twitch channel, bringing you Team Quintessence versus the return of Omega Gaming Unleashed here in LHGUL. I am Rudude, joined on the desk here today by Ivar and Josh. We've changed from Funk because his name's Josh, so we're going to call him Josh. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling?
I'm quite full.
I think I've seen Miz somewhere before. I don't know where, but it just sounds so familiar. I don't know.
I need to turn down ping volumes. That's the one thing. There we go.
Nah, so we see that early ward placed by Simalcrum there, and he backs instantly for the sweeper. Vintage Simalcrum.
Vintage.
He was doing it before it was meta, dude.
Do you think so TQ got a ward on his red? They only got a ward in Pixel Brush. Is that advantage TQ?
That could be a big difference.
That's
for
advantage
Hecarim,
TQ
actually.
right there.
Yeah.
Advantage TQ. But I think they know they got the ward there, so there could be some mind games going on.
Yeah. And Hecarim's actually starting on his Raptors as well, so there's a lot of early shenanigans going on. I think Madman actually tried to set a freeze up right there as well, at level 1, trying to freeze on the Ornn. Or at least get the wave to push back to him.
The man himself. Yeah, you just pull the wave level 1 in top lane and it'll slow push towards you.
Yeah, same in bot, isn't it? So. Oh.
We got a lot of OKs in chat from Austin.
Okay.
But yeah, standard level 1, we see a full clear from both junglers on the bot side. Nothing too crazy just yet.
No, definitely not so much at the minute, and I like that the bot lane's getting pushed in for Unleashed actually, because Hecarim with the full bot side clear would have been set up perfectly to get a level 3 gank right there. So I like that it wasn't in a gankable spot. Obviously, I don't know the Ezreal Karma versus Bard Senna, but Karma beats out Bard, I feel like, in the support matchup, and Ezreal into Senna is probably one of those where they both just get tiers and just roll with it, so the fact that Senna's got the push is a little bit to be expected, I suppose, because her push potential is a lot higher with just Qs.
Does Hecarim...
Oh, gank topside.
Yeah, gank topside. Flash is burned by Kibu there. Does Hecarim get low in the jungle? He's not supposed to, right? He's supposed to be very sustained.
Yeah.
A very, very strange back coming out from...
Yeah, that was weird. Like, he can... Yeah, it's easy clears for Hecarim, actually.
He cleared bot side and recalled.
Yeah, that's something you can do.
Oh, I think he was hoping for the level 3 gank out bot, but they were pushed.
I've seen that as well, though. Full bot side clear into recall and just get your second jungle item, and then you just clear for days. Like, actually clear for forever.
Okay.
Like, on Hecarim as well.
I mean, yeah.
You can get a little bit lower mana as well.
That's the only thing. I think he needed to like gank early, because now Ornn doesn't have flash. I don't think he necessarily needed the flash there, but
I think Josh is right. I think the game is not the game. The ball is in Quintessence's court, right?
Yeah.
Hecarim needs to get ahead, for this game to be easy for them.
Yeah.
Unleashed just has to sit back and let Ezreal and Ryze scale.
Right.
Yeah, they got 2-tier champions, right? Like, and you can see it. Husman started with the cull, so like he literally knows what his job is. He just needs to get gold and get items later on. He doesn't need to do anything early game. Just waiting on it.
Ornn's pushing here with no flash. Kindred is coming around here. Most likely will be a gank. The pullback comes out from the Man, and this should be a flash coming out from Simalcrum. Just keep the chase on. Unstoppable is popped by Kibu. He's going to try to get it back, but the TP is blown from Zillion into the top lane. First blood to Simalcrum.
Yeah. That's literally just because Hecarim's power farming.
That's a like knock-on effect as well, that Zillion roams up, doesn't get anything for it. Now Princeton has TP advantage. Like, this isn't just top solo kill anymore. This is now all fighting in the jungle though.
Ghost blown by Hecarim here. He has to run away, but bot lane for the side of Team Quintessence has priority here. This should be Dragon. Yeah. It's already started up here.
They can collapse though. Ezreal Karma moving. Simalcrum's walking down. Princeton's
they
there
don't
as
have
well.
to though.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
they're just gonna
They know
reroll.
they scale, so there's no point in just throwing.
And Sim is a little too far. I think if Sim
Yeah.
was where he is right now when they started Dragon, then yeah, they could look.
Yeah.
But at the point where they were at, it's a little bit greedy to go for that, especially with Ezreal just having call.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But now, ADs go back. Both pick themselves up their tiers. Princeton's got his
Right.
tier as well.
Yeah, Rise as well.
And yeah, Princeton still has TP as well, so he's going to be able to like go base and get himself like an early couple amp tomes as well. So might get like a real laning advantage at some point just with the TP advantage. I'll have to see if he's
Yeah,
able to use it or not though.
He's sitting on 800 gold right now, so
They're gonna find tech room. Oh, no, they're not.
Kind of scary, but neither of them know how close they were to one another. It's
Yeah.
all going to
they'll be
work out.
definitely scratching their heads when they watch this back later. See some trading in the bot lane, and now the side of Omega Gaming Unleashed, Adjustment and Vicro here, start pushing into the Senna Bard, looking to get some prio.
I think that's all just off of the way that they've managed to wave from like first recall. So Unleashed left it in a position where they could freeze and then started
Yeah,
a stack and then pushed like a massive wave into them.
Yeah, the amount of wards they have boss side too, they know that Hecarim's not down there, so
Yeah.
it was just free. They're actually playing all the lanes pretty perfectly right now.
And the fact they have a kill on top of it as well is actually really huge.
Right.
Like they're 1k up in a game where at this point they should probably be like 2k down. Like if TQ were playing it well.
Yeah.
So at the minute it's just
Yeah.
PvE gaming for Unleashed right now. And the fact that Sim found found 2 ganks top is pretty massive, to be honest.
Yeah. This is definitely a Diffie in the Jiffy. Ludwig has done nothing except farm.
He got an Ocean Drake, right? We'll have to see
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
if
It's
Soul
still
Point comes
very-
around, then it becomes an issue. But so
Yeah,
far,
it's-
that's fine.
It's still very early to I guess, determine
Yeah,
what-
to talk about souls.
what
and
they can
stuff.
value. Yeah. Cloud Soul's still a possibility. Like, that'd be a really troll soul for both teams to think this game.
Yeah, probably only
Yeah,
only
well-
Hecarim gets good use out of it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Karma does pretty okay with it.
Yeah. I think Senna does too. And Ezreal.
I mean, everybody likes having Cloud Soul, right? It's just everybody would prefer having something else. That's the thing that people,
Exactly.
people meme on Cloud Soul and say it's pretty bad, but at the end of the day, all the souls are broken. So that's why they're so highly
Yeah.
contested. It's just you would much rather have a different soul to Cloud Soul, but you'll take Cloud Soul any day. You're not like trading that for a couple turrets top.
I do want to point out significant CS lead growing in the top lane here, and
Yeah.
mid lane actually.
Yeah.
So Zillion's pretty hard to CS with early on at least. Now Miz is level 7. Level 9 is when your Q stock's clearing the backline, and level 7 your bombs actually, I think if you put 2 bombs down you clear the front line, so it's pretty easy for Zillion to start CSing once he's got Catalyst and pretty much got his first recall. But it's early on, like I say, where you're just throwing popcorn at CS and hoping that it sticks. Hoping that you manage to get the last hit. Whereas Rise you can pretty much clear, you get a tier and you just clear the waves pretty freely. But dive top? Oh, not dive, just a gank.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ultimate pop
Oh.
by Badman here. Is he gonna be able to stay alive?
Yeah.
That was really well played.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, this is like a foreshadowing how the game is going to go. Hecarim's going to press R and then Madman's going to press R as well. Like this.
Well, Ornn wasn't close enough to do anything.
Yeah.
Like he ulted, but then he had to walk all the way around to get back to the tower. So
Fighting on the Rift Herald, Unleashed. Going to be going for it early. Lamb's Respite from Smalcrum. Smite goes through and stolen away by TQ, and Madman now left with 3 members staring him down. Going to pop the Haymaker to get himself to safety. Bardal, he catches Simalcrum on the back though. Pastafarian going to take down Simalcrum, and now Princeton left in a 1 versus 4. Ludwig with the devastating charge charges him a little bit away actually, so might actually just walk this one out. Pastafarian with the flash stun, gets the slow, and then the auto attack goes through. That's 3 kills for TQ, and they get the Herald.
Huge run from Bard there.
yeah, that was a big play.
That's what they needed. That's how it should have been going. And
Yeah.
we were praising Unleashed for giving the objectives they didn't need to fight for.
Yep.
And then
Once they saw 3, they should have just left.
Yeah, like if that fight is later in the game
Now
where
they
Princeton's
regret.
like level double-digit levels like 11, 12,
Right.
that fight goes a lot different. But right now
Yeah.
Princeton it just doesn't have the damage to
Right.
turn that fight around.
And that whole time, by the way, Senna was still able to pick up pretty much all the farm. Like, what, a wave down on adjustment?
Yeah.
And that's just not... That's not the punish that you want, really, in that situation. Like, you want to make sure that he's missing... That the Senna's missing XP and gold, not just... you know, not just the CS. But they don't think they really missed anything, to be honest.
I think they used that rift mid and split the plates like 3 ways though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really worth, but
Yeah, I mean, look at the gold, right? It's, what, they're
Right,
700 gold up?
yeah.
Which at the minute, like, Unleashed are quite happy with, to be honest. The issue that they slightly have is slight experience leads in a few places, so Lud's is actually like half a level or so ahead of Samarkrim. I know they both just hit 8, but I think Lud's been 8 for a little bit, and Vic, the same, just hit 7, whereas Pastafarian's been 7 for a little while now.
Yeah, but it does help too that Bard has 2 kills.
True.
So I don't think there's much to worry about, but yeah, the XP is definitely gonna hurt a little bit.
I just find, like, there's so many stats in levels that actually just go unaccounted for most of the time. Like, you can look at
Yeah.
gold and you can look at things, but total level is actually pretty huge in a game.
Yeah.
You know, Lud just hit 9, and I think Sim only just hit 8, so there's pretty much an entire level there because Sim's been trying to... You know, we talked about it, Hecarim's been farming the entire time, and Sim's been looking for ganks and
Yeah.
looking for the objectives. Oh, I thought that could have been a dive angle right there, but... Holds it, uses the restraint. I mean, Bard's top lane right now, so... The fact that they're using the Bard to roam around is actually pretty much what you want to do with the champion as well, and... Jim just sat down here, he's absolutely fine essentially. You know, he might miss a couple of CS, but he's keeping himself safe. Karma doesn't have the punish capabilities of something like a Thresh, like a Blitzcrank, you know, that you can push up and just dive with, so... The Senna's quite happy to just send Bard around the map and pick up the scraps of CS where she can. And the best thing is as well, even if you aren't farming on Senna, you can still get power because you get the soul drops if you miss the CS, right?
I don't think they see Hecarim, do they?
Oh.
No, Bardolph does come out here onto Visceral. Visceral needs to be careful. Flashes away. He does get hit by the Senna Q, and it gets pulled back by Hecarim Ultimate. That's going to be a kill. Horn is used to stop the TP in the top lane, and suddenly, nope, no fight going on in the bot lane here. Just Madman going a little bit aggressive onto Kibu here.
Yeah, Kibu, nice usage of the Ornhorn. Tries to, or doesn't try to, completely interrupts the teleport. Shuts the counter engage down from Unleashed, so essentially just another free kill there for TQ.
Yeah.
Bard slightly mistiming the Q, but there could be a fight topside here, flashing from Kibu, and Haymaker on cooldown
Solo
means
kill.
Madman's just gonna fall, yeah.
Solo kill. The Zillion Roam gave him the confidence to go for that, and just flashes forward proactively and picks up that solo kill.
You know, I did say the Bard had to ult for Hecarim to get ganks off.
Yep, those words did leave your mouth.
Yeah, they did.
He's
But
got 4
still,
assists now as well.
With those 4 kills, and the 2 dragons, and the Herald, it's still only a 900 gold lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be a lot higher. There's some shutdowns available for the side
Yeah.
of Unleashed to take.
Well, I think it helps too that it's actually Cloud Drag Soul. Like if it was Mountain or Infernal, I think it'd be a bigger problem, but like the Cloud Drag just isn't that useful.
Fair enough.
You know, 'cause if it was Mountain, then it just makes Ornn and Hecarim too tanky. But it's not, so that's not even a problem.
Gank in the mid lane, trying to go off. Flash is burned by Miz. It looks looks like Madman's just roaming now, potentially for this dragon that's spawning in 25 seconds.
One has TP as well, so he just made the call early on to just roam down and help out the team. Instead of going top lane and not being able to help out when the Drake does spawn, which is giving On a lot of free time topside.
They might just trade this.
Committing a lot to this vision.
Miz needs to be careful. He's gonna pop that chrono shift. Sorry. He should be going down here. The pullback comes in from Madman. He picks up the kill. Call of the Forge God was used by Kibu, but doesn't hit anybody. He glitched that. Viscero is keeping Princeton alive in the backline here. Adjustment and the side of Unleashed are still alive. Big ultimate coming out from Hecarim, but still nobody goes down. And so far it's a 1-for-0 with the mid lane tower dropping from Mega Gaming Unleashed.
Yeah, and then this is where Bard Senna actually comes into their own, because there's so much sustain and so much utility after a team fight to heal up these health bars. Senna's just throwing Qs across the entire team, healing everybody up. Bard's got Caretaker Shrines down. Look at that, like that's 300 health right there. Dash in from Sim.
Does have that Lamb's Respite available. He does use it, and the poke does come out from the side of Mega Gaming Unleashed. They're going to try to burn down this dragon really quickly. The health bars of Mega Gaming Unleashed are actually pretty healthy. Madman goes in with a big 3-man pullback, instantly goes down, and they're just going to run away, and that's going to be a 1-for-0.
I think they just leave this here. I don't want them to keep going.
Oh, he flashed forward the side of Princeton. They're going to try to pick up a kill here, but they do not get it. The Q does not land, and now the side of Team Quintessence is now up a man here.
I mean, that's fine, I think. I think that honestly the fact that they get the Drake is pretty huge. That's the most important part of this. Yes, they lose one, and they got one back in the mid lane, but the fact that they get the Drake here means that, because it's a Cloud Soul, it means that Team Quintessence can't rush a Cloud Soul and then get an Elder whilst Unleashed is still a bit further behind, whilst the Hecarim's still strong enough to be relevant. With that 5 minutes extra is going to buy them that much time to scale to a point where they can take an Elder fight now. And even if they give up the Cloud Soul, they'll be able to fight for the Elder, I think.
Yeah, I think Madman was really living up to the name just now. That was a little questionable.
I think he was banking on Haymaker and then a load of shielding coming through, just didn't get it off.
Yeah, if Princeton had I know it's hindsight, but if Princeton had flash forward with him and hit an EQ combo on top of that 5-man stack or 4-man stack, that might have been a little different.
It would have been big damage, but it just wasn't. I guess they didn't communicate it. I don't know. Because Madman still had ult available too.
Yeah, he instantly got popped. There's a lot of burst.
But I don't know. I think he should, if he was gonna flash in, he should have just W'd immediately.
Call here as well.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding. Oh, you might actually get kited. Yeah, he's just gonna fall. Senna's a balance champ.
Not much he can do there. He was out of position and got punished for it.
I think if he W'd before the Bard ulti hit and like hit it, then he kills Senna. But that's the only way he does it. Also want to point out that Pastafarian's actually missed, like the ones I've seen, he's missed 2 stuns off of Tempered Fate, so something to notice. Maybe sometimes we're gonna get inconsistencies with the setup, because he, in the last team fight as well, when they were fighting mid lane where they lost one TQ, hit a massive 2-man stun as well. Like 3-man fear from Hecarim and 2-man stun from the Bard was literally got all 5 members of Unleashed CC'd at one point.
The bot lane tower does go down, and now it is a little bit over 3k gold lead for the side of TQ.
That's what we were expecting here. This is what was supposed to happen about 5 or so minutes ago.
Yeah, I just hope it's not too late at this point.
I mean, Sim's 2 levels down now, so so's well, Vic's down a level, Adjustment's down a level, Princeton, yeah. Level leads starting to establish themselves a little bit.
This wouldn't have been a problem if it was like 10 minutes ago, but hitting the 20-minute mark, it's where Adjustment should be starting to do damage.
Yeah, going for the eye spawn as well. Can't really blame him too much, to be honest, because he's only going to really get hit by Hecarim at this point. Maybe gets focused by Senna if he tries to jump into the backline, but only going to take physical damage here, so eye spawn's pretty good for him.
I feel like the team fights have been going in the way where if Unleashed had the damage behind them, they would be winning them, but they
Yeah.
just don't right now.
Yeah.
So they're playing team fights how they should be playing later in the game. So
Yeah.
they just need to be waiting.
Yeah, they're just taking the fights too early.
2 items comes through for adjustment.
So Malcolm's gonna try to chase down big showstopper, pulls Pastafarini for
Pastafarian.
Pastafarian X over the wall, and that's a shutdown going over to Malcolm.
Yeah, I prefer it in the Kindred's hand.
Oh, definitely. And Prince is gonna get
Hecarim's
ulted here.
here
Call
as
the
well.
Forge God is who. Tekram is here in the top lane. It looks like Prince is gonna try to get out of this, but he's probably gonna go down instantly. Yeah, tries to stay alive for as long as he can, but he does go down.
Yeah.
Trinity Force Cinderhulk and double items on double on
TP
upgrades.
to the bot side. And we see a fight in the mid lane here. So Malcolm's gonna go forward here. He still has the Lamb Respite available. They're gonna go forward here right onto the Senna, and Senna's gonna go down
Nice.
instantly, shut down, giving over to adjustment.
Really nice to play
Now
Kibu
Madman
as
is
well.
here as well. Yeah, Kibi is a little bit out of position. Does not have that Call the Forge God available. He does use that dash to knock up Viscero here. We do see the
Huge.
Tempered Fate used, but
1-for-1.
1-for-1, yeah. And now these team fights are going in the favor of Mega Gaming Unleashed. They have a little bit of damage behind their champions, and they're just
Well, I mean, that's not even like a team fight. That's just
Better
picks.
picking.
Yeah.
2 for her right there. They lose Princeton top lane and then get Jim mid lane and Kibu as he overextends to try and look for a play. Thought he had Zillion ulti behind him, but Miz just not casting it. So it ultimately just falls for free really there. Gets the Drake as well, so now two stacks of soul picked up for Unleashed as well.
And the CDR is going to be really big for Simulacrum.
especially if they get 4. The extra 40% on the ulti.
Imagine, yeah, that's pretty big as well. And it depends what he goes after this. Presumably Phantom Dancer,
but
if he goes Black Cleaver.
I think he needs to go Bork.
It really
'cause
depends. I think he's going to be relying on a Hoosman and Princeton to do the damage, so he might not think that he needs to go Bork and just Black Cleaver, or Death Dance actually with that, I think.
Yeah, but isn't the Death Stance passive the same as Phantom Dancer? Unless I'm trolling.
No, you're trolling.
Okay.
Phantom Dancer is... So
Oh,
Phantom
it's
Dancer
Phantom
works
Dancer
with
and
more...
Hex Drinker and Phantom Dancer are the same passive.
Yeah, Lifeline.
I knew there was something.
That stands are probably pretty good here.
And then more CDR.
Alright, when he gets, it's just a self-healing.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to roll around to, was with the 10% from Death Dance. He's gonna
Let's
get...
get a soul count here. 41.
So that's an extra 50 range. Caitlyn range now.
Yeah.
Looking for
Princeton
Princeton.
might be caught up. And he's under tower. He should be safe.
I really like the itemization from Jim though, I won't lie. Mirror Mana completed already, and then Executioner's Calling pretty much second, third item here. Madman.
Madman's gonna face check against Blood Wheezy here. I'm pretty sure Madman wins this because he has the Bork.
Does.
He does not have vision on anybody.
Or
Needs to be
a
careful.
team, yeah.
Flash is available. TP was actually blown by Ezreal here. I'm not too sure if anybody saw it from the side of.
Was he
Q.
under the tower? I think he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was-
way far back in the lane. The only thing that they can scout that off is whether they were see the one random minion coming like 10 seconds later.
Yeah, or you could see it in fog usually,
Yeah.
but you have to be looking in fog.
And as
And
well,
Princeton has those
yeah.
2 items.
I was just gonna say Princeton's got almost most farm in the game. Doesn't have the KD to necessarily back up the fact that he's incredibly strong. But 2 items completed, Merc Treads as well. He's gonna pump out a ton of damage as soon as pretty much as soon as they start team fighting. 10 stacks on the Rod of Ages as well. That
Those 2 deaths are just 2 bad fights that they took.
He caught
Yeah.
top once, I think, right?
Yeah, he got top
Yeah.
ones. Yeah. And once he gets this, I'm assuming he's gonna go Leandri's third, right? That would be the item.
Yeah, Sunrises go for Rylai. which I don't think would be too bad. But I think Leandris is
I-
just
I
so
th-
broken versus two tanks
Yeah.
here as well.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Leander's is
Yeah.
too broken, and they already have the slows from Frozen Fist from Ezreal, so they can stick on them pretty well.
I don't think they're trying to stick. I think they're trying to kite. I mean, I know they do the same thing, but yeah, in terms of what they want to play out, it's not. This isn't a sticking comp. This is them trying to kite it back with Karma and Phase Rush, Kindred ulti as well. I think Madman's only job this game is to get Lud out of the fight, is to like literally send the Hecarim the wrong direction.
Sim does pick that Scuttle up. Might have greeted a little bit. Almost got caught there. Madman needs to be careful. I don't know if he probably does win this now, right?
Yeah.
He has Black Cleaver finished. Bramble Vest on the Ornn makes it a bit difficult. Sim's going to be caught here.
He needs to pop the Launcher Spite instantly. He's going to go down here. I don't think there's enough healing or anything to keep him alive. TP is coming out. If Auto Attack follows him over the wall with the flash. Viscera needs to be careful too. He does get hit up by the Hecarim there. It does pop that stopwatch to no avail. It dies again. Adjustment's trying to stay alive here. Does have that flash available. Does not use it. Uses his Arcane Shift. TP coming out from the mad lane in the mid lane. He does get stunned up by Pasta Farini here. Gets stunned up again by Miz. And so far it is a 2-for-0 in favor of Team Quintessence.
Yeah, it's going to get them the Drake, but Ryze is so strong that they can't get anything else. They need to get Baron to try and push versus Ryze. That's the thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't even call that a lost team fight, right? That wasn't even a team fight. They just got picked out. Nice vision control coming out from Team Quintessence to be able to, know that Sim's coming around that corner to clear that ward and collapsing on him instantly.
Yeah, and it comes down to team play, right? Because you see clearing vision, Team Quintessence had 3 people nearby to try and contest vision, where Unleashed literally are sending Sim to do all of the warding work, where they need to group up a little bit earlier and send more people to the play.
I mean, you can just see the difference in the vision score with the supports.
Yeah.
And the
It's
jungles.
huge.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to point out, no towers taken yet by Unleashed. Still a lot of gold left on the map for them to pick up.
Yeah, but then that once again comes back to the lack of vision that they have, is that they can never feel confident to push up to towers because they don't have any vision on the enemy side of the map. They've got one, I think, blue like Scryer's Orb in Tribush at bot lane, but other than that, there's no vision in the enemy jungle whatsoever. So pushing up towards these turrets is super dangerous for them unless they see 5 people on the map collapsing somewhere else.
That's fair.
It's like double death dance coming out as well. One on Simalcrim, one going to be on adjustment. Ludwig's got his already.
Kindred does have 6 stacks here. What's that? When does he get more?
7.
8?
7.
7. Okay.
It's
So stack.
You get one every stack up until 4, and then after 4 it's every 3 stacks. So 7, 10, 13, etc.
Yeah, we do see that top tower finally fall. Maybe Princeton gets this bottom one. There's nobody really on the side of Team Quintessence to respond. They're probably setting up Baron Vision here, as Princeton is still safe in the bot lane with TP available.
Lud is kind of huge right now, I'm not going to lie. This Hecarim is scary. He's got Death's Dance, Triforce and Cinderhulk, as well as a Zillion Pocket as well. The reason Lud's also so far ahead is that Zillion passive, as well as the fact that he's just been farming the entire game. He's been farming up and he's probably had all of the funnel from Zillion experience as well. Probably given over about 800 experience at this point, which is probably like, I don't know, half a level or something. Maybe not that little, but he's going to have given a lot of XP, probably a couple of levels to Lud at some point during this game. And also, Miz gets that experience for himself as well. Kibu caught out.
I need to be careful. Sim needs to be careful here, actually. Looks like Sim might just get instantly popped. Pops that stopwatch instead of the Lamb's Respite. Uses it instantly, but I don't think that's going to be enough. 3-man knockout coming out from the Ornn there, and it's going to be a 2-man Temper Fate coming out from the Pastafrini. Adjustments just doesn't have enough time to DPS here. Viscera will go down. That's going to be three deaths down on the side of Mega Gaming Unleashed, and most likely this tower, they're going to chase down Adjustment here. Adjustment's just trying to auto-attack, do as much damage he does, uses the Arcane Shift to try to... Nope, he just goes down, triple kill to Ludwig. Surprisingly, the first 3 kills of the game for him.
Princeton tried to TP, but
He got
Jillian
stopped.
stopped it.
Yeah, and he almost took Zillion down as well.
Yeah.
Miz is like 200 HP right now, but that's that Hecarim being so strong right here.
Yeah.
That should look friend.
Yeah, I think I think it's over. Unleash just took too many bad fights in the middle of the game.
Yeah. Princeton's trying to keep it alive. Actually, playing this pretty decently, but to no
Level
avail.
16 Zillion.
Yeah, level 16. And he's going to go down, and that's going to be the game going over to Team Quintessence.
Strong start from Unleashed, and then just a
Yeah.
couple of rough fights.
They started real. The first 10 minutes was great for them, and then the next 10 was terrible. I think they started to feel the pressure, them like thinking they were too far behind with the drags, and they started to make some loose calls, and it just came back to bite them.
It wasn't not ideal in the end, unfortunately. I mean,
Well,
just look at the damage charts, right? The Hecarim and the Ornn were just huge that game. Ornn was doing so much damage in those team fights as well.
Yep.
Like you saw him chunk out Simalcrum with just QW, and that's the levels again. He had 3 levels on him at that end point, and he just throws QW, takes Simalcrum down to about 40% HP, just like with the auto attack on top of it. He's he like Sim's got Merc Treads and null magic mantle from Aegis, so that's through all of that magic resist as well that he's doing the damage.
Yep. And we're just trying to get into the next lobby. Sides will be switching here. Do you guys need an invite to the lobby?
Yeah. Are we throwing it to a quick break, or are we just gonna chill?
We could throw it to a quick break.
Yeah, we'll send it to a small break. We'll get into game 2, get the draft link ready, and then we'll come back with game number 2, where hopefully Unleashed turn it back around. So we'll catch you guys on the flip.